Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I thought I'd revisit the MSR Hyperflow filter. I've had it for a while now, and I've probably learned a few things, so I'm going to show you how to backflush it the easy way after messing around with it a few times. I think I've got it figured out now, and it's really not that big a deal when you look at it. Okay, first, let's take it apart. First thing I'm going to do is, this is a cover so you don't, they say, cross-contaminate. It covers up the outspout, the end that the good clean water comes out of. It covers it up, kind of. There you go. It's got a little clicky thing to lock it in place. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is fully extend it. And this is the cartridge, the filter cartridge that's replaceable. And if you turn it a little bit, you'll feel it lock in down here. And once it locks in, you turn the cartridge out counterclockwise, and you'll see that there's a valve in there. Now that valve, when it's all together, is pointing towards the clean water side. So you take that valve out, turn it around, and point it towards the dirty water side, and then screw the filter right back in again. Not too tight. Okay, now you go to this end, and this is a rather odd setup. It screws like maybe a couple, 3 turns and comes off. And inside, you'll see there's a valve in there. And that's pointing towards the clean water side. This is the dirty water side. So take it out, and it's got a couple little things to grab a hold of to get it out with when you change it next time. And point it towards the dirty water side. And screw it back on. Now, it only screws on until a little bump locks on this elliptical ring here, like that right there. You could screw it further, but it's not made to go there. It's made to clip right there. Okay, now you're in the backflush mode, so let me move the camera. Okay, now, in order to backflush, we want to pull the water through the filter backwards. Since this is normally the clean end and this is the dirty end, and we're going to be pulling water through the clean end and pushing it out the dirty end, which is the opposite of the way it's usually goes, I'm going to put the hose on the clean end. Okay. Now I'm going to put that in the water, and this is the dirty end, this is the clean end, but we're running it backwards, so we're going to have water coming out the dirty end. And I'm going to start pulling this. Now, the downfall of this entire filter is, not the downfall, but the weak point, is there's an O-ring right here that rides inside of this plastic cylinder. Now, if you pull on this too hard, if your filter is plugged or partially plugged, and you pull it too hard, it'll just pull air past this O-ring and fill the chamber up with air, which you don't want to do. So when you pull nice and slow, so that you're pulling water and not air. If you start to pull air, you'll see it going by. And very slowly pull it. You'll see the water coming through right here. Okay, now you go the other way. You can see water's coming out. Now, they say to do this 4 times. You know, my thought is if 4 is good, 8 ought to be better. And if your filter is dirty, you will see sediment in this water because it's being washed out of the element. Nice and slow, and that's all it takes to backflush it. I'd do it 8 or 10 times until I got clean water. And another thing is, the water that you're using to backflush it has got to be absolutely clean. So before this plugs right up to the point where you can't use it at all, it would be a good idea to slowly filter off enough water to backflush it. It's only going to take a cup or so, but nonetheless, something to remember. Okay, now that we've done that, we've backflushed it, I'm going to take the hose off, put our water aside, and we're going to extend it again. Now, it's funny that this picks up water quite well when backflushing, but when you don't use water on it, it doesn't seem to pick up air as well as it does water. You can see that it's fighting me. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the bottom off first, which is a logical thing to do. And there's little things in there to get a hold of the valve. I'm going to turn the valve back over so it's pointing in the clean water direction. Then while I have that off, I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to find a lock. I'm going to lock it, screw that off, take my valve out, and point it in the clean water direction towards the filter. Put that back together. Make sure my filter's in there pointing in the right direction, pointing up, and screw that back on. There. Now I'm ready to, and if you want to check it, get a clean tub, make sure you've got some, I wouldn't use the water that I just pumped through it, obviously. I would use some clean water, and we'll see if it'll pump. I'd make sure that was down so I didn't squirt myself in the face. And there's a whole bunch of air in here, but you can see it pumps water quite nicely. Let me, now I find that it pumps water better in an upright position than it does on its side, but that may just be me. There we go. And you see it's a fairly high volume filter. Doesn't take too much to get a liter of water. There. Now, that's certified. Good now. I'll pump all the water out of it. And if I wasn't going to use this filter for a few months, what I would do is I'd put 2 or 3 drops of bleach in this water and pump it through the filter to coat the inside of the filter with a little bleach, and then pump it out dry and put my cross-contamination cap on, and that would keep bacteria from building up in the filter. Okay, let's move the camera back. Now, this filter, dry, complete, without the hoses or anything, weighs almost exactly, as I weighed it on my scales, weighs almost exactly 6 ounces. That's about the lightest filter that I have seen that's practical. This is a fully functional 0.2 micron filter. Not 2 microns, but 0.2 of 1 micron. Really, the real thing. And it's not one of these, although you wouldn't want to freeze it, unlike some of these bag filters and stuff. And I see people using these bag filters. Well, 1 micron bag filter is not a 1 micron bag filter. They rate them, 1 micron bag filter is usually between 1 and 100 microns. 1 micron would be the absolute best it would ever do. In fact, it would never do 1 micron. They rate them in stretches from like 200 to 300, 100, 1 to 100. I don't even think they make a bag filter that actually really will do 1 micron. And since 2 microns is a breaking point, anything above that and you could get in trouble. These bag filters, which I was thinking of putting in my pack instead of this, after reading up on it, doing a little study, no, I don't think so. And a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, but in reality they're 1 to 100 microns, not 1 micron. And most of them will produce, let 50 micron stuff through. Sure, it'll catch some of the 1, but not all of it, and that's what you need. You need to catch all of it. Now, I've been sick before from drinking bad water, and it's not something I care to repeat. So, in this particular instance, I'm going to go with a heavier 6-ounce hyperflow, and I just think it's worth it. I really don't dare go to the bag filters. But that's me. If you're happy with that, fine. Maybe you've never had any problem with it. But I'm not going to find out. Well, I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike. Take a friend. Enjoy the great outdoors. And more important than anything, leave no trace. And have a really great day. Bye-bye.